1, 2, 3, 4.
I do not know if my all-time favorite German word is a dirty word or not. It's old, it's medieval, it's no longer in use. It's Minnebuschel. Minnebuschel means love bush. In English, love bush is kind of, I don't know if it's a dirty word, but at least it's slang. It's not very respectful of what it is. And in German, in medieval German, it meant the same thing. It was defined as the same thing. But a word is more than its definition. And the thing about medieval words, we're not really sure how they were meant. Love bush, Minnebuschel. Was it slang? Was it derogatory? Was it disrespectful? Was it something you would not say in polite conversation? Or is it something you would say in conversation? Does it just mean female pubic hair? That's it. Well, is it something like what a doctor would say? Would he say that word? Is it a neutral word, or is it a word laden with all kinds of sexual aggression and frustration and desires and yearnings and all those things? And we don't know. I fell in love with that word, Minnebuschel. On the one hand, because it was funny. It seemed funny to me that a word like love bush would be used in a serious poetic work of fiction, of literature. I believe I read it first in Wolfram von Eschenbach's Parzival, which is, probably the greatest work of literature ever created in Germany. But the reason I fell in love with it was because it was so chivalrous a word. It was sexual. It was full of sexual desire. But at the same time, it was respectful and honorable. At the same time, it put the woman, the object of desire, on a pedestal. Today, we don't do that anymore. When we talk about sex or romantic love, we're talking about hookups. And we're talking about rules of engagement and rules of consent. There's all these rules involved, and we're talking about constantly talking about rape and sexual harassment, and that's the vocabulary we use when we talk about sex. It's all about all kinds of negative things and things that are not really soulful or heartfelt. A hookup is not the same as romantic love. And I think it's because we're living in a period where our Puritan instincts and our Puritan fears of sex and romance and this animal side of our lives is clashing with the change in our roles between men and women. And so what we get is not something that we can be proud of, but kind of a list of rules and fears that we associate with sex. I miss Minne. Minne, the word Minne, is a chivalrous kind of love. Minne and Liebe both mean love, but Minne has gone through many more changes, transformations, than love has, than Liebe has. It was at one time or another an animalistic, carnal love that only peasants got involved in, and then it became a courtly love, what we know as today as courtly love, where the knight would, write poetry, write bad poetry to the lady he yearned for, but there would never be any sex. It would be a purely cerebral, abstract thing, and then he would go home to his wife, who he would beat or something. But he would put the lady of the castle on a pedestal, and that was courtly love. The Greeks had, I think, 3 words: agape, philia, eros. Right? Eros is sexual love. Philia is brotherly love. Agape would be, I guess, selfless love. The Eskimos had 50 words for snow, apparently. They have the words they need to describe it because they have to talk about it a lot, because it's important. It seems to me like in a healthy modern society, something like love would be an important word that we would talk about a lot. and we would need different words to describe. We have brotherly love, we have sexual love, we have carnal love, we have unrequited love, we have selfless love, we have unconditional love, we have kind of love that's aggressive, the kind of love that we don't understand, the kind of love that we regret, the kind of love that leads us to conflict and to downfall. We have love for two people at the same time. We have love for children, we have love for parents, we have love for things, love for cats. We have love for cats. Why do we use the same word for loving our wives or our husbands as we do for our cats? Seems like a different thing. I say we bring back Minne, chivalrous love. It's the opposite of the hookup. Chivalrous love is a love that is full of respect and honor. Minne was used in the Middle Ages in connection with service. Minnedienst is love service. You serve the one you love. You put him or her on a pedestal. You look at his or her best qualities and you try to imitate those qualities. You try to take those qualities in your life. You try to lead your life in such a way to be worthy of that other person in his or her best ways. And chivalrous love in the Middle Ages, of course, it was one-sided. I'm thinking it was men putting women on a pedestal and making women, therefore, a little bit passive. But you could turn it around. You can do it the other way, too. It can go both ways. Women, I have no problem with women putting me on a pedestal. Women looking at men and saying, let's look at their best qualities. Let's try to imitate those best qualities. Let's cherish those best qualities. Let's try to live in a way that we can live up to those best qualities. Let us be inspired by those best qualities to live the best life we can. That would be chivalrous love. It could go both ways. It should go both ways. If you ask me today what the world needs, I wouldn't say less capitalism, or more socialism, or less socialism. I wouldn't say less fatty foods, less TV, less internet. I would say the world needs chivalrous love.
1, 2, 3, 4.